Good afternoon. My name is Sakina Simmons. My name is Sakina Alston, actually. That's my maiden name is Simmons. I am completing an assignment for ECPI University, Nursing 511. This is Theoretical Foundations, a Multidisciplinary Approach for Martha Colvin. This assignment is a PowerPoint on Nursing Theory Review, and we have to broadcast it, which is my first time doing this, so please bear with me. This is about take 7. So I have chosen Dorothy Johnson's Grand Nursing Theory of the Behavioral Systems Model. So Dorothy Johnson was born August 21st in 1919, Savannah, Georgia. Her education consists of an undergraduate BSN degree that she received in 1942 from Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. Her graduate education is a Master in Public Health from Harvard University. She got that in 1948. In her career, she was an assistant professor of pediatric nursing, an associate professor of nursing, and a professor of nursing at University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. She retired in 1978. The behavioral systems model is a grand nursing theory, and it's based on human needs. It's first proposed in 1968. Characteristics of human needs theories in general are that the body, physiology of the body, mind, social interaction, and environment, and people are assessed. Persons evaluated using these theories are considered the sum of all these parts. Humans are acknowledged as spiritual beings. Characteristics of human needs theories continues that humans naturally respond to their environment. Change is anticipated and expected as humans acclimate to their environment. Every effect is related to an affect. We must find the effect, equate it, and restore it back to health. So assumptions of the behavioral systems model include that the system is a patient or a person, and they're a system of behaviors. Structure. All parts of the system interlock with instinctive behaviors to keep the system stable. So humans exhibit different behaviors for different subsystems that will keep the system as a whole intact. Every behavior of every subsystem affects the whole, such as if a person does not eat, that's the subsystem of ingestion, they will have a low blood sugar and they will not be able to function. They may be tired, cold, or confused, so it will affect neurological systems as well. So the environment consists of internal and external effects on the system. For example, elevated blood sugar or cold weather. Elevated blood sugar is an internal effect on the environment, and cold weather is external. The nurse's role is to assist in regulating behaviors to keep the system stable. Major assumptions of the theory include the type of behavior and consequences achieved allow determination of the drive stimulated or the goal sought. So depending on what you're trying to achieve, such as if a person eats, maybe they are trying to achieve the goal of eliminating hunger. So each person has a predisposition to act within reference to the goal in a certain ways rather than others. This predisposition is called a set. So everybody has a unique way of adapting to or behaving goal or in response to a drive. Each subsystem has a repertoire of choices called a scope of action. So that is, if we're in the ingestion system and we're talking about the goal of eliminating hunger, somebody might eat a large Thanksgiving dinner and somebody might eat a Cliff Bar. So that's the different range of behaviors, the scope of choices. So the individual's patient's behavior produces an outcome that can be observed. So we are able to see what happens as a result of certain behaviors that a person exhibits. So concepts and definitions. There are several. Because this is based on a grand nursing theory, but I want to stress that this is a behavioral system, and man is a system that indicates the state of the system through his behaviors. So depending on what the person does, That depends on the state of the system. Is the system in good health or stable or not? Depending on what behaviors are exhibited, such as if we don't eat, we'll have a low blood sugar. That behavior does not support the system, and we can see that. You can refer to these definitions later. They're here, but I'm not going to read all of them as that would be boring. So I'm going to read some. The stability is the balance or steady state in maintaining balance of behavior within an acceptable range. We spoke about range earlier. Stressor, a stimulus from the internal or external world that results in a stress or instability, such as food or cold weather. Structure, the parts of the system that make up a whole. System, that which functions as a whole by virtue of organized independence. That, yes, the ingestion system where you eat, if you do not eat and you have a low blood sugar, you may have a seizure, and then that would affect the neurological functioning. So all the pieces are interconnected and interdependent on each other for functioning at optimal health. Subsystems we'll talk about later. They can be used to make nursing diagnosis and implementations from. Here are the 7 subsystems. Attachment or affiliative subsystem, dependency subsystem, ingestive subsystem, eliminative subsystem, sexual subsystem, aggressive subsystem, and achievement system. The scientific basis for the behavioral systems model is it's deductive, meaning that it starts out broad and gets more detailed. So we start with broad assumptions about behavior, and then we get into very, very specific behaviors and what those behaviors do and what influence they have on our outcomes or health. The science that the theorists borrowed ideas from is social science, such as Maslow's. Behaviors must meet basic human needs physiologically and protectively and spiritually, and Maslow agreed on the same. So the impact on research, education, and practice. This model utilizes quantitative data to measure problems, implementations, and outcomes, such as measuring a person's blood sugar and seeing how high or low it is, and then you do an implementation such as feed the person or provide insulin, and then you can evaluate the outcome by rechecking the blood sugar. So this is supportive of evidence-based nursing practice for these reasons, and it has origins in positivism. UCLA Neuropsychiatric Institute and Hospital utilizes the behavior systems model to guide autonomous nursing practice in all of its units. Subsystems can be used to make nursing diagnoses, intervene, and evaluate. Promote or evaluate safe quality practice. This model can be applied in the clinical settings to patients of all demographics, bio, psych, social, cultural, compass. So it covers everything that we deal with as nurses. An example, if a patient is vomiting, they cannot exhibit behaviors of the ingestive system in order to maintain health. So the nurse can manipulate the environment by maybe administering some Zofran or starting an advanced line so that the person could get some intravenous nutrition to keep so they manipulate the behaviors or the environment to promote behaviors that would fulfill the goal of the ingestive system. And all of the subsystems can be used like that to come up with nursing diagnoses, interventions, and evaluations. In summary, the model facilitates efficient and effective behaviors to promote, maintain, and restore health. Function or behaviors of each system should protect, provide, and stimulate. Instability to the system requires nursing to promote behaviors that will restore stability. Do you have any questions? Thank you for listening to my broadcast and watching. Have a great day. Here are some references from where I gathered my information. Thank you.